we have a speech from Jenny Cutler, who'll be giving a speech that's vaguely based, apparently, on the Speaking to Inform manual. And Jenny said that if she won the lottery, she would buy a cottage in Chelsea, keep £2 million for herself, give £2 million to each of their household heads in her family, and give the rest to charity. So with a speech titled, "Try Anything Once," please welcome Jenny Cutler.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, how many times have you been told to try anything once? What's suspect advice? I would no more try a Japanese blowfish than jump out of an aeroplane, and I've never in my life smoked even one cigarette. So it was no great surprise when last Christmas my 3 children clubbed together and bought us a 2-day smoking course up in Shap Fell in Cumbria, somewhere near where Gary lives. It's a very, very long way away. It takes 2 days to get there. We had to stay on the night. We got there, as we were requested, coffee time on Saturday morning. And we were met at the door by this lovely gay ex-police couple, George and Joe, 2 women who did this full-time for a living. They took us down into their cellar, which was a sort of laboratory, a bit like Hester Blumenthal's place, and gave us a 2-hour lecture on how dangerous it was, all the carcinogenic fumes, how we could die, and if we didn't listen to all the instructions and get them all right, we could get seriously sick. Now, who can remember what you're told over 2 hours? I don't remember a word of it. And because they didn't give us any handouts, I decided it didn't really matter. So you're just going to get what I can remember. Then we were told, and this weekend cost £500, it wasn't cheap. We were told we'd have to go out and catch our own food, because they weren't going to feed us as well. And actually, I thought, oh, thank God for that. I thought we were going to have to go and shoot our own food, because I'd been chatting to the other students. Some of them were what passes for landed gentry. You know, the sort of people whose kitchen table is heaving with venison, grouse and rabbits, and they just don't know what to do with it all because they've run out of recipes. And then the other students were seriously into roadkill, and they were wondering what to do with the roadkill. Well, my God, I didn't know such people existed. I knew we were going to have loads of fun. And I was then dressed in clothes I didn't know existed. And I was given these shoes called muckers, which is what you clean horses' stables out with, and put in a Land Rover and taken to this great big lake with a box of maggots. 2 hours later, I hadn't caught a thing, and we weren't allowed to leave till we'd all caught 2 trout. Do you know, I got really good at doing that. I could do it and get it into the lake every single time. But Joe and George got really fed up with me, so they went round with a fork and dug up some worms. And I had to spear these worms while they were still alive. It was horrible. Anyway, I did it again, and within seconds, I caught the biggest trout of the lot, so we could go home. So, back down in the cellar, we were told how to do this thing. And I'm going to show you. I've been really hard at work today. This is my fish smoker. Whew, it does whiff a bit. So, I'll tell you what you do. It's all to do with electrolytes. I'm not going to give you any more science than that. It's all to do with electrolytes. You've got to get the electrolytes into the fish or it doesn't work. So I went out this morning and got you some trout. You can eat them afterwards if you want. Hates touching fish. I haven't got time to get the gloves on. Anyway, you get one of these full of water. We were each given one of these right to the top. It's meant to be exactly 2 litres, but honestly it doesn't matter. Any other amount of litres will do. And then, oh, I hope I can get the top off this. Gosh, I nearly forgotten about this. Anyway, it's... could you get that? This sounds disgusting. It's all this sugar. It's a whole packet of sugar. Ooh. Makes you feel completely sick. You're never going to eat smoked trout again. And then when they've got the hat off that, it's a whole packet of salt. Huge amounts. We're not supposed to eat salt or sugar. She said, never mind. I've got hundreds of these bottles here. Put whatever you like in, everything you've got in your larder. And actually there were about 100 of them. and I put the whole lot in because I wanted to disguise the taste of the salt and sugar, which I thought was disgusting. And she said, doesn't matter what you put in, it doesn't make any difference, you can't taste any of them. And it makes you feel like you're trying really hard, you know, and it's something to do with all these stupid bottles you bought, you can't remember why you bought them, so that works quite well. And then you put the track in there, and then you put the lid on it, and then you have to wait 2 hours. So off you go, and phone a friend, muck about on Facebook, 2 hours, come back and get it out. I haven't got my gloves on. 2 hours later, now the electrolytes are all in there. Then you get a tap. Oh, I don't want to touch that. You get a tap and you wash it for about 10 minutes to get all the salt and sugar out of it. It's revolting. And then you dry it. And then we were talking about all the stuff you put in the bottom of this. This is a smoker. It costs about 50 quid, it's quite cheap. And you can put some cigarettes in there, you know, proper tobacco, but this, unless you grow it in the garden, don't bother with tobacco. Most people use tea. Lapsang, Earl Grey is the best. I use Lady Grey. If you don't want to use Lady Grey, you can get this stuff in the garden centre. It's only a teaspoon you put in there. Then you put this thing back, and you put fish. I've lost the fish, where is it? Fish in there. And then this is the really important bit, because you're going to die if you get this bit wrong. You close the lid. You can do this indoors, there's no smoke. Oh, I haven't got it off its little thing. It's actually on an oven. Can't really why you do that. Anyway, there's an oven in there underneath. I won't bother with that. And here's the cooker. Whoops. Nigel, don't worry, I'm not really going to do this. It's a whole bottle of meths in there. It takes exactly 12 minutes. Shove the meths under there. And then you get one of these goodies and you light it and you get a huge flame. And then you leave it. And you have to go off and phone a friend and play around on Facebook for exactly 15 minutes. You come back, it's gone out after 12 minutes, so 3 minutes to get it cool. And you open it up, and here's one I did earlier today, so you can have a taste of that if you want. It's absolutely delicious. Now, what was in there was the thickest, blackest, greenest, yellowest, acrid smoke in history. It's like a bonfire with 100 tires on it. And if you breathe it, you will die. And if you look at it, you won't eat the fish. Then, after that, we were taught how to smoke loads of other things. And I'm just going to quickly tell you about how to smoke salmon. Because this is called hot smoking. Hot smoked salmon, hot smoked trout. This is cold smoking. The important thing is the salmon never gets hot. So, oh, I've forgotten this thing. This is for wimps like us, who are too scared to do that. We bought this, it cost 30 quid. As you can see, we haven't edited it, and I don't think we ever will. It'll end up on eBay. And this is, oh, I've run out of time. This is the pizza oven that they built. And this is the wardrobe they got off the Antiques Roadshow because it wasn't worth anything. And that's the thing out of the tumbler dryer. And the smoke goes, you put your hog roast in there, and you get the smoke through there, and it cooks the salmon. It takes 24 hours. Absolutely delicious. Fine. Sorry.
Wow.
Do have a go. Try it.